Welcome to the Daily Business and Finance Show. Tesla workers voice concerns over working conditions. Nasdaq, S&P, Dow rise despite Israel-Hamas conflict. Northrop leads defense stocks amidst Israeli attack. U.S. grants waiver to Samsung and SK Hynix for chip equipment to China. Joby Aviation aims for electric flying taxi service by 2025. Unity stock drops following CEO retirement announcement. Exxon's top shale executive arrested on sexual assault charge in Texas. Bank of America's long-term securities expected to impact quarterly earnings. PepsiCo Q3 earnings awaited. Stay tuned after the short ad break for more updates. Employees at a Tesla manufacturing plant in Berlin are experiencing unfavorable working conditions and safety issues, as reported by the metalworkers union IG Metall. The workers are burdened with heavy workloads due to understaffing and demanding production goals. In protest, approximately 1,000 employees wore stickers that read "Safe and Fair Work." Earlier this year, Tesla workers in Buffalo also voiced similar concerns about their working conditions.
U.S. stocks closed higher on Monday following a volatile session. Initially, the market declined due to geopolitical concerns but later recovered after positive comments from Federal Reserve Vice Chair Philip Jefferson. Investors are closely monitoring the conflict between Israel and Hamas, resulting in increased demand for safe haven assets like gold and the dollar. Oil prices saw an uptick, while energy and defense stocks experienced notable gains while travel stocks faced declines. The Nasdaq Composite rose by 0.39%, the S&P 500 added 0.63%, and the Dow advanced 0.59%. All sectors of the S&P closed positively, with energy leading the way in terms of gains. Major defense contractors witnessed significant increases, whereas airlines and cruise line operators suffered losses.
Northrop Grumman stock experienced a significant surge of 12% following the outbreak of war in the Middle East. The unexpected attack on Israel by Hamas resulted in retaliatory strikes, leading to an increase in shares for defense contractors such as L3Harris, General Dynamics, Huntington Ingalls, Lockheed Martin, and RTX. Despite starting with a decline, the S&P 500 ended on a positive note. In support of Israel, the United States is deploying a carrier group. Analysts anticipate prolonged conflict and potential escalation.
The U.S. government has granted Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix an indefinite waiver on restrictions that prohibited the shipment of advanced chip-making equipment to China. This decision enables the two companies to continue and expand their chip-making operations in China. The U.S. has designated Samsung and SK Hynix's chip factories in China as verified end users, reducing licensing requirements for these companies. It remains uncertain whether other companies will also benefit from this waiver, although Micron Technology is a competitor of both Samsung and SK Hynix. This move resolves uncertainties surrounding chip production in China for Samsung and SK Hynix, as they partially rely on U.S. products.
Joby Aviation CEO, JoBen Bevert, expresses confidence in the company's ability to launch its commercial air taxi service by 2025. Recently, Joby delivered its first aircraft to the Air Force. Bevert envisions a future where air taxis are widely accessible and commonly used for transportation. Joby's goal is to reduce costs below $5 per mile as the service expands. Currently, efforts are focused on constructing infrastructure and training pilots, while overcoming significant challenges in testing components and systems. Notably, other companies like Archer Aviation, Volocopter, and Vertical Aerospace are also developing eVTOL aircraft for future commercial use.
Shares of Unity experienced a 1% decline during after-hours trading. This drop in value coincided with the announcement of John Riccitiello's immediate retirement from his positions as president, CEO, chairman, and board member of Unity. In light of this development, James Whitehurst will assume the role of interim CEO and president. Additionally, Relof Botha has been appointed as the new chairman. The information source for this update is a press release issued by Unity.
The vice president of ExxonMobil's shale oil and gas business, David Scott, has been arrested on a sexual assault charge. He is currently facing a second-degree felony assault charge and has posted a $30,000 bond. Mr. Scott is responsible for overseeing Exxon's operations in the Permian Basin. However, it remains unclear if he is involved in the potential Pioneer Natural Resources deal. Following the weekend attack on Israel by Hamas, crude oil prices have rallied, resulting in a 3.9% increase in Exxon shares.
Bank of America's CEO, Brian Moynihan, had anticipated that the bank's substantial deposit base would prove advantageous as interest rates increased. However, due to the bank's allocation of billions into low-rate long-dated treasuries and mortgage bonds during the pandemic, they now confront significant paper losses. Consequently, portfolio values have declined as interest rates have risen. Despite these circumstances, analysts predict that Bank of America will not encounter major issues akin to other banks. The bank has the option to wait for its longer-term debt to mature and invest in higher-yielding alternatives. Presently, more than 25% of their book consists of debt securities with a yield below market norms at 2.4%.
PepsiCo is scheduled to announce its third-quarter earnings results on October 10th. Analysts are predicting an earnings per share of $2.15 and revenue of $23.44 billion, both indicating year-on-year growth. Historically, PepsiCo has consistently surpassed EPS and revenue estimates. The company's stock currently holds a strong buy rating and is ranked second in the soft drink industry. Despite the decline in the S&P 500 index this year, PepsiCo's stock has risen by 7.2%. Although considered expensive by some, certain analysts view it as a potential investment opportunity if there is a further decrease in price. Thank you for joining us on the Daily Business and Finance Show. Stay tuned for more insightful episodes as we navigate the world of business together. I'm Montgomery Jones.
And I'm Amalia Dupre. It's been a pleasure until we meet again tomorrow. This content is sourced from the Seeking Alpha website, so support our podcast by becoming a Seeking Alpha Premium subscriber. See the show notes page for links to sign up. This episode is produced by Classic Studios. Check out our other podcasts in our network at classicstudios.com.